You see this type of thing every day. So much so, it's become a casual occurrence, to the point where you may not even notice it anymore.
I know. I said, oh, they'll never see that.
But what if something were to go wrong? What if something terrible happened?
Hi, my name is Kai Brown. Over the last year, I've gotten my fair share of injuries, including even getting rear-ended by a car. Now overall, the experience has been quite the journey for me and given me some insight into my life that I'd like to share with you.
For people who have suffered an accident and sustained an injury from it, this is one of the many places they may end up. This is Alvarado Medical Center's Physical Rehabilitation Center, where I started my journey to self-recovery alongside many other people.
Because of all the injuries I've received, I've had to experiment and try some pretty intense treatments. Some of which were, to say the least, a little gnarly.
Oh, God. Deep breath. Breathe. Deep breath.
The first time it wasn't straight, you said. Because I walked around as a kid. I didn't heed the warning.
Deep breath.
We're all going to sleep because it's so slow.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Rehab consists of a lot of strenuous exercise.
Squared to the way that you're facing. Your toes out? Yeah, toes in? Good, good.
Look at the struggle. Good workout.
Conferring with other individuals who have had much more severe accidents has allowed me insight into my own injury and given me a different perspective on my experience.
In 2005, I broke my neck. My spinal cord was hit. And so, you know, every doctor I went to, they were amazed that I lived. They were amazed that I lived. And they wanted to perform surgery on me. They wanted to take 2 discs out and fuse my neck together, which would give me a shorter neck and no range of motion. and they told me that was the only choice I had.
I got hurt in March of '01, motorcycle accident, ended up crashing over by San Diego State and broke my back, tore a bunch of the nerves in my arm, and such is life.
The road to recovery is an uphill struggle, but unfortunately many people only perceive the physical aspect, while the mental portion goes entirely unnoticed.
But 99.9% of most ailments is psychological.
When you go through an injury like this, it helps you grow. You do become more one with yourself, and you do start to step out of your body and look at the path you're on and figure out if you're still going the right direction, you know.
But the power of the mind, if the power of the mind is truly as strong as we know it to be, we are able to heal ourselves. All things are possible. All things. The moment we make it impossible, we lose sight of miracles.
Your mentality is a big part of the recovery process. Huge.
Injuries can be a pretty depressing thing, but getting through mentally is one of the most crucial aspects to recovery.
No one can tell you to get better. You must do it yourself.
It's kind of, at first, I was all depressed. I wished I would have died. I thought my life was over, and then after about a month or two, family yelling at me for being such a little crybaby, and just, you kind of get over it and you realize that you can either sit there and be sad about everything, or you can just move on with your life, and that's what I did.
A lot of people learn from the accident or the injuries, but there are some that don't, because they choose not to heal. They would rather stay injured and stay sick and stay hurt and stay in pain.
People that are going to be negative, they're going to be negative whether they're in a chair, whether they're walking. I mean, I've met so many people that their life's worse off than mine, and they have no physical problems. They're, just like everyone you see walking around. But
when people come here, they look to us as great healers. We're not healers. We're educators. We'll educate you there's something not right. We'll educate you what you need to do, and then you go home and heal yourself by choice. You either want to or you don't.
If you don't love yourself, you can't help yourself. If you don't love yourself and respect yourself, you can't help and respect and love others.
There's always a positive side to recovering from an injury. As for example, I will be a much better athlete knowing my body better. For other people, it's a different story.
And last thing for the camera, sitting in a wheelchair, you got a good lap every time you go to the bar or anything like that. Women want to sit on your lap, it's a good time. You can throw that in there if you want.
Absolutely.
He will too.
Although an injury can be perceived as a nuisance, it actually can come with positive results. Remember, take deep breaths, and life is what you make of it.